I got this car in the air. The brakes on all four ends are pretty good. Anyway, up in here, see if I can get this sitting. Okay, see that bushing right here? See how much rubber is poked up there? Well, you see that little? Oh, I don't have a pointy stick. Just a sec. Okay, right here. Right there, below that screwdriver, you see that flange sticking up? Well, that there, right there, that flange is the bushing, and all that rubber is supposed to be in that metal flange down in this arm. And the arm is hard against the frame down here. So anyway, that bushing is pushed out. So that's no good. So anyway, here's the bolt that came out, and the bolt was, I was very happy. The bolt was not stuck to the sleeve in the bushing, because if it is, then you have to heat the rubber and with a torch and a knife and cut all that rubber off and heat that bushing red hot, put a pair of ice grips on it, and then turn the bolt out in order to get it off. And of course, I'll have to unbolt this here and on the frame and take this arm off and put a new bushing in it. So the other side, the bushing is still holding. So it's been a little bit of a chore, but when I went to turn the nut or that bolt, of course it went around and around. So anyway, you can see the hole right here where the bolt came up through, and there's the old cage, that a sheet metal square cage that holds the nut, which is right here. So anyway, I measured over with my tape measure. It was 19 inches to 22 inches from the edge of the sill over. So I made my 2 marks. Then I couldn't get the mini grinder in here, and I didn't want to take the floor pedal out because I didn't want to get up in there and disconnect things. So I just drilled a hole and then tin snipped it out and bent it out of the way. And anyway, I'll engineer a way of holding that nut back in. Or maybe I'll just use that nut with a wrench, tighten it up good and tight, and then just pop root a patch over this. So if it ever has to come apart again, you just lift the carpet up, pop out the pop rivets, and hold it with a wrench, the same as I'm going to do to put it back together. It's almost easier. Well, the carpet comes up easy. This rubber thing underneath the carpet, I had to cut that, so I might have to drill a hole, put a screw to hold this little crap in the right place, or maybe it'll just sit there underneath the carpet. But the carpet peels back, and it's this rubber stuff is what's kind of in the way, but I just cut it out of the way. That's one nice thing about working on jalopies. I'll show quickly the other side. Grab my, I guess I'm all right. Now on this side, the bushing is still holding. If I can get the camera in here, you can see the bushing. Okay, you can see right up here, it's only like an inch across. Well, that's the sleeve. And because the rubber bushing is like 2.5 inches wide in that hole in the control arm. So that little bit of a flange there is the bushing, and the rubber on this side is still in the rubber is still in the bushing. So this side is actually still good. And the arm is in the middle of the frame here. It's not down because these get pulled out. But I think where it's not too cold out, I'm going to, now this side, it's all open up here. I can reach up in here with the torch and heat that nut to help me get this bolt out. So I think I'll take the bolt out and put grease on it, and see, this one, it may be still good, but this bolt might be stuck on that sleeve. And while I'm at it, I might as well rip her out and put a new one in. They're only like $20. But the hard part is when they're stuck, they're a bugger. But anyway, the sills have been replaced twice, and kind of it's holding, like it'll pass safety. There's a couple little holes. This got ripped out somehow. I'll have to weld that. I don't know what would do that. It's all thick metal, but it got ripped right out back to here, so I'll weld a little patch in there to put that back together. But the car's actually in quite decent shape. Trying not to wobble the camera too bad. I have a habit of that. And this hub's a little rusty, but it might still be quite good. It turns a little stiff. I'll have to take both hubs off and clean them up. Both back springs are not broken, and the shocks don't leak. These boots fell off, but as long as the shocks don't leak, they'll pass. And the gas tank's good. And the muffler's in the trunk. And underneath here, the sill here, the edge of the floors was replaced all the way back, but it's quite solid, and I think they use seam seal, but they use seam seal that I can't even pick off with my fingernail. So that was good stuff. But anyway, the sills are holding, and the floor's holding. The exhaust is loose, broken off the motor. But I'll have to take this control arm off, go to the store and buy new bushing, and push that in and go from there. I don't know if I told you it was cold out early this morning. It was like 12 below. It's like 2 or 3 degrees or 5 degrees out there now. It's quite warm. But anyway, you can see right there that coil has a great big hole in it. I can't get the camera down to actually show you, but anyway, little guy was here a little bit ago, but I think he took off. Yep, he did. Gallivanting. Yeah, it's above freezing. It's quite nice out. So I thought I'd just share that. But anyway, yep, no problem. Just the fact that bolt wasn't stuck on the sleeve of that bushing, that's the worst part. Like, it's not that bad to rip the carpet up and poke a hole in the floor and hold the nut. But when that bushing is stuck on that sleeve, it is terrible, just absolutely brutal job to get that apart. I had to do that a couple years ago on that other car. And anyway, I'm not trying to look for misery, but this car is actually in better shape than mine. Mine's quite, it's quite bad underneath. This one's a little bit better. So anyway, see you later.